in the article, I know you don't reveal your sources, but I'd like you to elaborate about the metal shackles they're going to put on the wrists with the computer chip. And maybe, Catherine Albrecht, you can add to that comment.
Unfortunately, I believe one among several plans to ensure that the government's edict of mandated vaccinations, and by the way, the state of Oklahoma last week passed through its House just such a law for the state of Oklahoma and its residents that everyone will be vaccinated in the state of Oklahoma. Now, having said that, there are also plans that will ensure that you do not freely travel, nor will you be able to really go anywhere without proof that you have had the vaccination at the point that the government mandates that certain levels of the population take the inoculation. When that happens, I have been told by state troopers across the country that there are plans ready to be implemented that would include roadblocks and choke points, as we call them, major interstate junctions around major cities and so forth, where the greatest number of people can be held until they are either prove their vaccination by papers, or in the case of a medical specialist in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, who told me that they had observed a semi-tractor trailer being unloaded at the hospital loading dock, pallets and pallets, scores of cases of metal bracelets that once put on would slip into a place and be either pegged in there with some kind of device to hold it in place, but the band was meant to be permanent. On top is a chip. That chip will include all kinds of information about you and the fact that you have been inoculated. Now, this is one of several plans. It has not yet seen the light of day, but it is there. It's in readiness. You choose the poison. It's either slow homicide or slow suicide. They're either going to kill you with the injection, or if you go up and say, sure, I just want to be able to go wherever I want to go, and you take it, to me that's virtual suicide. Just slow motion suicide. So we've all talked about not getting the vaccination, that's clear, but you may not have a choice. I am told that the plans include buses that will be standing by for people at roadblocks that refuse to take the inoculation. The people will then be escorted to the buses and taken, as I was told in the state I was in at that time when I was speaking to the troopers, you're going to get a free ride to a nice warm bunk at Fort Riley. Well, it's one of several plans. We can't know until they're implemented, but I assure you that those plans are in place and law enforcement is going to be pulled in. And one of the articles I wrote, I said the law enforcement community will enforce the New World Order. There will be many that will not, and that's good news for us. But I believe it's still a majority that will be standing in line saying, get your shot or get on the bus. That's what's coming.
In this morning's Flu Watch, it seems like everyone's talking about the H1N1 virus lately, but the regular flu season fast approaching. And our Dr. Jennifer Ashton is about to get her annual vaccination right here. Good morning.
Good morning, Harry.
All right. We're still waiting for the H1N1 vaccine to become available mid to late October.
Correct.
This is not that. This is the regular flu vaccine.
Regular flu vaccine, which started to come out a couple of weeks ago. It will be gradually being made available at pharmacies, hospitals, doctors' offices. Very important for us to remember, the seasonal flu kills about 36,000 Americans every year. 90% of those or so are older people, or those with chronic medical conditions. And now, because of this flu season being so important, certain states, including our state, New York State, are actually making it mandatory for healthcare workers to get vaccinated against both seasonal flu and H1N1.
So Anna Oliveira is here.
She's my medical assistant in my office, and she's going to give me the flu shot. And a couple of things that are important for people to know. First of all, it does not contain live virus, so you cannot get the flu from getting the flu shot. It does take, for this flu shot to be effective, about 2 weeks till you get the antibody protection. She's very good. And it is very, very important, especially for healthcare workers, because traditionally only about 40% of healthcare workers get vaccinated, and we are... Excellent, Anna. We are the vectors of spread for this virus.
Right.
In addition, you don't want your doctor himself or herself to be sick, so very important for healthcare workers. We should strive for close to 100% compliance.
There you go. Anna, did you get your shot yet?
Yes.
That's okay.
Yesterday.
All right, you guys are covered. You guys are covered. Very impressed. Way to go. And this is the regular flu shot.
Regular flu shot. You can get your pharmacy, your doctor's office, hospital.
There you go. And we'll talk more about H1N1 when it becomes available next month. Jennifer Ashton, thanks so much. Up next, that's next Tuesday, September 22nd, here on the Early Show.
So that is the brainwashing that is going on out there as people run out and get last year's flu shot, getting ready to get the new flu shot. And Reuters is putting out propaganda saying, oh, there'll be a bunch of deaths every year, 1 million heart attacks, 700,000 strokes, 900,000 miscarriages. Yet this year, they know a significant number will be blamed on H1N1 vaccine, which will roll out within weeks, and they are struggling to be ready. They expect an avalanche of so-called adverse event reports, which are a report of deaths, illnesses, or other health trauma that occur within weeks of receiving treatment, in one case, in this case, the swine flu vaccine. So they're preemptively saying, if you have a bad reaction, we're just going to say it wasn't caused by the vaccine. This is amazing level of mind control. Let's go to Dr. Conrad in Utah. You're on the air. Thanks for holding.
Hello, Alex. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
One of the reasons why we were in such a dire situation right now is even if the powers that be get a kind of a feel that there might be too much of a public backlash against some of these extreme measures, such as martial law or involuntary incarceration. The fact of the matter is that so many of the people are propagandized to the extent that they believe that vaccines are the intelligent thing to do, and they're just going to roll up their sleeve, and it's going to be devastating for so very, very many people. I'm not sure if Rob got some information through to you yet today. He said he was going to. He actually emailed me and asked me to call into the show. I've been working with Rob for a while on a tool to help viralize the truth about vaccinations. And, the problem is I think that a good portion of your listeners, Alex, probably know the truth about vaccinations just from listening to your show. But the problem is that it is so difficult, and I know from 20-plus years of experience, I've known for 20-plus years that vaccinations are a fraud, that they don't work, and that they're dangerous. But I also know how difficult it is for the average person to be able to quickly convince their friend about that because they are so indoctrinated. So I came up with a simple tool that is very powerful and effective that can quickly convince someone of the truth.
Okay, what is it? Tell us.
It's an article that was published on Infowars.com August 18th called "They Want to Inject My Kid with What?" And if people want to go to YouTube and do a search for interview Dr.
No, we actually
Conrad.
posted it. It's on prisonplanet.com. It's dozens of links. I guess you put this together. It's great. They want to inject my kids with what? Here it is. We'll zoom in on that. And it says video presentation by Barbara Lowe Fisher, President, NVIC, National Vaccine Information Center. And then it just has clip after clip of all the admissions about how deadly they are and all the different cancer cells that are in it, how it's made from dead baby parts. Yes, this is an amazing data page. Did you put this together, or did one of our guys do this?
No, I did it, and it was published August 18th, but then it kind of got buried in the archive section. And what my idea was for there to be a little link to it on Infowars.com and the Prison Planet, I guess would be good, for your listeners to be directed to, because that way, with a click of the mouse, they can send it to all of their contacts, and within 20 minutes, each of their contacts, if they have a brain in their head or any goodness in them whatsoever, are absolutely convinced that vaccines don't work anyway. And
we have millions of listeners and hundreds of thousands of people on the site every day, and yes, I was marveling over how good this was, how well put together. They want to inject my kids with what? 4 pages of links and documents from the CDC, all the admissions, the mercury, the squalene, what it does. They want to inject my kids with what? Just search engine that, and it's up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. And thank you for putting this page together.
Yeah, the thing about it is, Alex, is if people just go to a general website, they're so overwhelmed with information, they just get bogged down and it's tedious and they kind of give up a lot.
I hear you. We got to work on getting you on again later. It's a great idea. I do want to move on because I want to get medical workers, police, military. That's why we open the phones up at 1-800-259-9231.